I'm Joe Cabral, and I'm Communications Manager for the City of Lancaster. And today we have a very special guest, Julian Treasure. Julian's the gentleman that composed the generative sounds on the boulevard, which for the past year have garnered the City of Lancaster not just national, but international media coverage. Great to have you here.
It's so good to be here, Joe. Thank you for hosting me.
And this is the boulevard, and along here we have 70 speakers for 0.6 of a mile, and between the hours of 8 and 11 a.m. and 2 and 4 p.m. what they're listening to are your generative sounds.
That's brilliant. Or not listening to, hopefully, they're just experiencing it at a lovely ambient level. And it's so exciting to be here and to hear the birds.
Given your successes, does it surprise you at all that our sheriff's captain thinks that it has had an effect on the crime rate?
No, sound affects us in 4 ways. It affects our physiology, breathing, hormone secretions, heart rate. So calming sound would reduce people's heart rate and also reduce the stress hormones. The second way sound affects us is psychologically, so it changes our mood. So again, calming sound is going to make people feel peaceful as opposed to stressed and anxious. Third way it affects us is cognitively. So calming sound like this, and particularly because we've used a lot of high frequencies and there's some water and so forth in there, and birds, it stimulates cognition. It helps people to think more clearly, which would, in a conflict situation, reduce the likelihood of violence, for example. Finally, sound affects our behavior, and calming sound will just cause people to go about their business a little bit more slowly and gently.
Okay.
And again, it doesn't surprise me that that would reduce the incidence of particularly violence.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is John Cantrell. He's the engineer that was responsible for the building of our boulevard.
Hello, John.
Glad
nice to meet you. Yeah, good to meet you as well.
Comments that you've received?
Very positive. Very positive. We had, I think a lot of people wondered what it was going to be like at first, but now when you walk around and ask people what they think of the sounds, they say, oh, there are sounds. And I think, isn't that the intent? It's they're peaceful, the people are enjoying themselves, and it's not obnoxious music.
It's a whole new class of sound, actually. It's sound that's designed not to be listened to.
The city spent a little over $10 million, and then we had an investor who actually owns this restaurant here that has spent over $100 million investing in downtown Lancaster,
wow,
including the museum across the street here. Well, Mayor Parris is the one that came up with the generative sounds, and he actually paid for it out of his own pocket. I mean, and on the way over, you were saying that no other city has done this on the outdoors, at least. So, what does that make you think about Lancaster?
Well, I think the citizens of Lancaster should be quite pleased that they've got a mayor who's that committed. You know, I don't think the mayor of London has ever put his hand in his pocket and spent personal money on the city at all.
And it seems so obvious now that I've heard the words come out of your mouth. I mean, obviously we worry about what color the museum is, we worry about how wide the streets are, but nobody's really given that much thought into what we're hearing when we're experiencing it.
Absolutely, yeah. And we experience the world in 5 senses all the time. If there were a vast stench here, nobody would put up with it. You would immediately remove it, and you'd have men working on it instantly. But many places in the world have got terrible sound going on. I mean, not just temporary from roadworks, but permanent from installations or machinery.
My name is Michelle Shaver, and I just wanted to thank you because I love the sounds that we can hear on the boulevard. Because when we're at the Performing Arts Center, one of the things we do is it's educational programs where we invite all of the schools to bring kids in and come and see either a rehearsal or a show at the Performing Arts Center. And what I like to do with the groups of kids is when we have hundreds of kids standing out in front of the Performing Arts Center is when it starts to get a little loud and a little kind of out of control, we say, shh, can you hear that? And the kids will get completely quiet.
Fantastic.
And they stop and they listen and they are just so interested in where's the sound coming from and who made that sound, how come it's doing that, why can't we see it? And we'll spend sometimes maybe 5 or 10 minutes just listening to what the kids can hear, so we really do appreciate it. We
I'm
thank
so
you,
glad.
because it does actually calm them down before they do go into a performance, and it's nice to see the smiles on their faces when they just are looking around. So Thank you for doing that.
That's so good. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
I'm really pleased that that's having that effect.
Thank you.
It's lovely to see the installation and to hear it and to get a feeling of the effect it's having on people here. But secondly, it's just really inspiring to talk to the people here and to get wonderful reactions. It makes it all worthwhile. Just as Mayor Parris put a lot into this, he put his hand in his pocket, paid for it. We did it for a very reduced price because we believe in the project. And so, it makes it very rewarding. I'm going to go back and tell the guys on the team who put the sound together. It'll be great for them to see some of this video. We're all going to feel very good about this, Joe. It's a beautiful space, and I hope I can come back in a year or so when all of it's finished and see this brilliant gallery and enjoy a lunch at Maria's restaurant and just flavour the whole place when it's complete.
Well, you're more than welcome in Lancaster anytime you like.
Thank you, Joe.